In this video, I'm gonna show you how to destroy anyone in an argument. This is a video that a lot of people have been requesting, so I finally decided to make it. Now, there are two ways to go about doing this. One is the way of the debater, which is what I use, and the other is the way of the troll. The way of the troll is to simply make up bullshit and then use that bullshit to attack the person you are arguing with. An example would be, "You're such a moron. Your opinion is completely invalid because your entire argument is based on a false premise," or, "No, you're wrong. You're just wrong. You don't even know what you're talking about." That's the way of the troll, and it's a very effective way if your goal is to win the argument, but it's not the way that I prefer. I prefer the way of the debater, which is to simply destroy their argument and not make things up as you go along. It's much more satisfying, and it actually helps you to learn the topic you're arguing about. So let's get started. First, you need to understand the structure of an argument. Every good argument has three parts: premises and conclusion. The conclusion is the main point that the person is trying to argue. For example, let's say we're arguing about gun control. The person might say, "Everyone should have the right to own guns." That's their conclusion. Then the premises are the reasons they have for that conclusion. They might say something like, "Everyone should have the right to own guns because it is in the Constitution," or "Everyone should have the right to own guns because they might need it to defend themselves." Those are their premises. Once you understand this, it's pretty easy to destroy someone's argument. All you have to do is find a flaw in either the reasoning or the evidence. For example, let's say the person says that everyone should have the right to own guns because it is in the Constitution. Well, you can simply point out that the Constitution isn't a moral code. It's a set of rules for a government. It doesn't tell us what we can or can't do. It just tells us how the government should deal with us. So that would be a flaw in their reasoning. Or let's say they say that everyone should have the right to own guns because they might need it to defend themselves. You could point out that that's just not true. You could say, "Actually, the statistics show that guns only make things worse when it comes to self-defense." So that would be a flaw in the evidence. Now, obviously this is a very simplified example, but you get the idea. All you have to do is find a flaw in the reasoning or the evidence and then point it out. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you win the argument. That just means that you destroyed their argument. They could still double down and be wrong, but at least you would have destroyed their argument. Now, I could give you a bunch of examples of this, but I think it would be better if you just watched a real debate and paid attention to the structure of the argument. Then you'll understand how to destroy anyone in an argument. Thanks for watching.